Hey everyone, welcome to Butt First Yoga. Today I'm going to take you through a sequence of yoga poses that can help you to reverse any sort of muscular imbalances that you might have if you sit a lot during the day, maybe you have an office job, maybe you have some longer commutes in a car or a bus or a train. These will be some poses that will really help you to open up. So when we get into these seated positions and we stay seated for a long time, we tend to get very tight in our chest, in our shoulders, in our hip flexors, and in our hamstrings and glutes. So we're going to open up those areas a little bit. You can pause this video at any time, especially if you find any sticky areas that maybe you want to spend a little bit more time with. These areas might be a little tighter than what you would expect as well, especially if this is your first time doing this video. So I encourage you to breathe, avoid holding your breath. After all, yoga is just linking breath and movement. So you can hold these poses as long as it feels good for you, but remember to keep breathing as well. So feel free to take a couple of minutes for yourself either at the end of the day or during the day to help reverse some of those imbalances you might find from sitting throughout the day. All right, so right away we're going to start on all fours. We're going to bring our hands underneath our shoulders, spread all 10 fingers apart. The knees come underneath the hips and the toes are untucked. Going into a couple of bird dogs here, reach your right arm forward as if you're going to shake someone's hand. Reach your left leg back as if you're going to kick the floor, or the wall behind you. Right here, I want you to think about length rather than height. Already you should feel your core engaging. Draw your belly button up towards your spine. I like to say your laughing muscles are engaged. So if you were to laugh or if you were to cough right now, you would feel your core fire up. Big inhale as you find length here. And exhale, hold. Inhale a little bit longer. Maybe you find another inch on both sides. And hold through your exhale. One more time, big inhale. This time, exhale, round and curl in, bringing your elbow towards your knee, tuck your chin. Inhale, reach out. And exhale, plant it back down. Other side. Inhale, reach the left arm out like you're shaking someone's hand. Right foot goes out, flex through the foot as if you're stepping on the wall behind you. Big inhale as you find length. Hold through your exhale. Inhale, maybe you grow an inch longer on both sides. Draw the belly button up and in as you exhale. One more deep breath in. This time, round and curl in. Bring the elbow towards the knee. Round through the upper back. Inhale, reach out. And exhale, plant it down. Just a couple of cow-cat poses for our spine here. Inhale, cow, lower the belly, lift the chin, lift the tailbone. Exhale, cat, round and curl the spine. One more time, inhale, cow. Exhale, tuck your toes and downward facing dog. Hips high and back. Now your hamstrings are likely going to be really tight, especially if this is the first time you're doing this video, the first time that you're moving today. Again, especially if you've been sitting all day. So give yourself as generous of a bend in the knees as you need to. We want to avoid locking out the knees. It's okay if your heels do not touch the ground. Press through your hands, especially through the index finger and thumb. Wrap your triceps in. So we're squeezing the ears between the biceps. Then after you've found stillness, I want you to find movement. So press one heel down towards the ground, big inhale. And exhale, switch sides. Inhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Just moving one breath, one movement. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Lower the knees down. We're going to come all the way down to our belly here. So untuck the toes. I want you to bend your left arm so that your elbow is at 90 degrees. It's at what we call a cactus arm. The right arm is going to come off to the side, and we're going to actually roll over to open up through our left shoulder. So bend the right knee and gently start to rotate to open up. Now, maybe your foot touches the ground, maybe it hangs in space, but you're going to feel a pretty intense stretch to the left side. If it's too intense or if you feel pinching or anything like that, you could open your arm up a little bit wider. You could even lengthen it all the way out, and you might even be able to rotate a little bit more. We're opening up through the front of the shoulder, trying to find our breath, trying to find a little bit of length. Let go of any tension through your face. And then slowly come back to center, other side. So the left arm is going to help to push us now. The right arm comes to 90 degrees, that cactus arm, or maybe again it reaches up or it reaches out depending on your shoulder flexibility. Bend the left knee. Slowly rotate to open up over the right shoulder. Maybe you find that each side is just a little bit different. You might be especially tight in one shoulder versus the other. Always just good information to have. One more breath. And slowly come back down. We'll bring both hands under the shoulders and sit back to a child's pose. So opening up through our hips. Knees apart, big toes to touch. Hands reach forward as the head comes down to the mat. The wider apart your knees are, the more of a hip opener this is going to be for you. If you find you have a lot of low back pain or you just want to create some space with the low back here, you could bring the knees closer together. Just take a couple of breaths. Let your exhale release. Maybe feel yourself melt into the mat. And then on your next inhale, we'll come back up to all fours. Go ahead and sit back on your heels. If that's uncomfortable, you can always bring your feet out in front of you instead. We're going to open up through the shoulders one more time. Take the hands interlaced behind the low back. Open up through the chest. Pull the shoulder blades down and back. And now we want to avoid locking out the elbows. You might be really hypermobile in your elbows or your shoulders. So avoiding hyperextension, avoid locking out. We want to keep our joints safe so they work for us for a long time. And slowly release. Come down to your bottom if you're not already there. Big soles, soles come to touch. And now, right here, you can determine how intense the stretch is going to be. You could pull the heels in really close for a really deep stretch. You could take them out a little bit further, especially if that's where your hips are asking to be right now. Bring the hands around the outside of the feet. Take a deep breath in to open up the chest. Then exhale, gently fold forward. I want you to avoid really trying to reach into this stretch. If you feel tension by trying to pull yourself deeper than where your body wants to go, we're kind of missing the point, I guess would be a good way to put that. So find your breath, find that stretch it might be slightly uncomfortable, and that's okay, but it shouldn't be painful. Take one more deep breath in. And on your exhale, fold over just a little bit deeper, opening up through the hips. Inhale, come back up. We're going to come to a figure four. So your feet can come out in front of you with the knees bent. Hands will support you behind your back. Bring the right ankle over the left thigh, and then keep the left knee bent. This might be this might be as far as you go here. If you're looking for a deeper stretch of the hip, bring the heel closer towards your glutes and bring your chest closer towards your shin. However, be mindful of what your body is able to do today, what it's asking you to do. If you need to back off, make sure that you do so, and you can even lean back a little bit further to ease up on that stretch. Keep breathing in through your nose. Exhale, release through the mouth. And switch sides. So we'll bring the left ankle onto the right thigh. And now here's where I notice a huge difference in my hips. I know that my left hip is much tighter than my right hip, so I have to adjust this a little bit more. I need to lean back a little bit. Otherwise, my sits bones end up coming off the mat. One more deep breath in. And exhale, release both feet. You can cross your ankles. We'll finish with one deep breath in together just to close out. Big inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed this sequence that will help you to reverse some of those muscle imbalances that come from sitting a lot throughout the day. Remember, you can do this flow at any point throughout the day, whenever you find time for yourself. And I hope you enjoy. See you next time.